What's going on, guys? Today we are unloading a new vehicle that I purchased and I'm pretty excited about it. This one is one of those cars that I've always wanted, and I think this is going to be a really cool project for the channel. So I'll show you guys what it is, but first we got to get it unloaded. Alright guys, well, I got the new project unloaded, so I'm really excited about this. But first, before I show you it, I want to tell you guys why this truck is so special, because it actually has a little bit of history with the channel and everything like that. So whenever I was in high school, I actually bought a 1965 F100, and it was primered, but I really liked the truck. It was a short bed, and I got it pretty cheap, and I drove it as my only car in high school. And really, it was the first car I technically built that really started my love for doing these kind of builds and stuff like this. I actually ended up painting it this seafoam color in my garage, and I thought that it was really cool. I really love that color. And eventually, I ended up putting a Cummins diesel motor into it. And I believe I was one of the first guys to put a Cummins diesel in one of these F100s. I did this a long time ago. I'm sure there was a few guys before me, but doing it on the two-wheel drive truck seems like it's really common now. And I actually went on David Patterson's YouTube channel, That Dude in Blue, and did a review video on it. And that video was really what sparked my interest for doing videos and sharing my builds and stuff that we do here at Rustomod. So that truck really started Rustomod in general, and it was what had me interested in cars and building cars and doing this kind of stuff in the first place. So I ended up actually having to sell it to be able to recoup some funds whenever we built the Rambler. That was really unfortunate because I'd like to keep that truck because it was my first truck. But it's one of those things where I wasn't really happy with the way I did it just because it was my first build, and to redo it, I would have to redo everything on it. So I really wasn't that happy with it. It was fine to cruise around, but it really didn't have any purpose. So that leads me to today, where I'd been searching for a vehicle, and this one ended up popping up, and it could not have been more perfect for what we're going to do with this thing. So I'll share with you guys the plans that are going to happen with this truck. It's going to be probably one of the coolest builds we're going to do, and I'm really excited to get started on it. But just to preface, this build is not going to happen for a while. I do have to get the Sasquatch F250 done, and I have to finish the Rambler, the whole interior on that, and we have some other projects on down the line that we're gonna have to do. You remember that 1979 Corvette? We still have it. It's sitting out back, and we're gonna put that thing together too. So we have a lot of stuff to do, and we are going to get to it. So we have plenty of content coming down the line. But this thing just got dropped off. It was a great deal. I couldn't pass it up. The history on this truck is amazing. So you guys are gonna absolutely love this build. So I'll show you guys what's happening. So this is a 1963 Ford F100 Unibody, and this truck is very special. I just got it delivered from New Mexico. It actually is originally from California, and it's this very cool color, almost the exact same color as my 65, which I'll put up pictures here. And that's kind of why I loved it so much. Also, it has incredible patina. This Western desert patina is probably one of my favorite looks ever. So it's definitely a rusto mod, but it's in extremely good shape. You could not ask for a better patina paint job on something like this. It's perfect. So it does have some rust issues here on the sides. So somebody had actually cut this out and had to patch it. So I'm gonna try to, I guess, match the paint as best as I can on this one panel. But that's probably the worst spot on the whole car, and it's really not that bad. The bed is pretty rough on the floor, but all the important stuff is in good shape. And that's not really gonna matter too much with what we're gonna do. So what makes this truck really neat is it was actually a old California Forest Service truck, and that's why it's this color. And I looked up, it is the original paint on the truck, which is pretty cool. And you can kind of see the remnants of the logo on the door, and then on the inside, on the glove box here, you can see there was a logo that was on that as well. So it's pretty cool. I really love the history aspect on these old trucks. So what also is really neat is if you go up on the roof here, it's numbered on the top with the number 43. So that might give you a clue of what we're gonna do to this truck. You guys know Ken Block. He's a big influence to my love of cars and doing awesome all-wheel drive slides and gymkhana videos and stuff. And when they built the Huna truck, that was why I built the C10. I wanted something just like that. And I obviously couldn't be able to afford something that awesome and expensive and a thorough build like he has. So I tried to build something very close, like my C10. And I think my buddy Austin from Boosted Supersport could contest to that. Is the reason why we build all-wheel drive cars. It's so cool. So my plan for this truck is to do another all-wheel drive chassis swap. Something that I don't think I've seen anybody else do. We're taking this unibody Ford F100 and we're chassis swapping it onto a Lincoln frame. And we're not just doing a solid axle in it. It's gonna have independent rear, independent front, and it's going to be all-wheel drive. So we're doing a budget Huna truck as a little tribute to Ken Block and all the awesome things that he inspired us to do with these vehicles. So I think this truck, born with the number 43 right on the roof from the Forest Service, could not be a better fit for this project than any other vehicle. And that's why this vehicle is so special. Also, it just is the perfect color. It's literally my favorite color. I painted my truck in high school this color. It's even cooler just because of the unibody and everything like that. This thing's in fantastic shape, so I'm so excited to get started on this thing. But we got a lot of projects to do, so this is just motivation to be able to get to this one. Now, somebody did actually swap in independent front on this car from, I think, a Chrysler or something, and then the rear end, I believe, is from a Crown Victoria. So somebody definitely done some work to it, but we're not really going to worry about all that stuff at the moment. All right, well, now I'm going to try to jack this thing up and try to pull this wheel off. And I think hopefully this wheel in the back is the same lug pattern. It looks like it is. And put this one on so I can roll it around. So I'm gonna do that real quick. And then I'm gonna push it over and clean it out. There's a bunch of papers and stuff in here. See if I can find any interesting clues about this truck. And clean it out. It's really dirty. It's been sitting, I guess, for a long time. And I'm gonna pressure wash it to get all this dirt and stuff off of it. There's just a bunch of junk in the bed and stuff, so we're gonna clean this thing up real quick. Man, this thing just looks so cool. I've always wanted one of these. I'm probably gonna say that about 100 times, but I'm so excited that I finally get to own one of these things. So you guys can see all the papers and parts and stuff left in this thing. So I'm gonna clean all this stuff out, and that way we can pressure wash the inside of this thing because it is filthy. So get all this stuff cleaned out of here, give it a good wash. That was easy. It's really nice when nothing is bolted in. All right, we got all the big stuff swept out, got the seat pulled out. Interior is pretty clean. There's literally no rust in here, which is awesome. And got all the big stuff out of the bed. I just put all the pieces that I might need, nuts and bolts and stuff, in the bed. So I'm gonna pressure wash this thing real quick. It's really dirty. Try to get all that dust and stuff off this thing. And it's been on a long road trip across the country, so it needs a good wash. And hopefully this paint will come around. It's such a really cool color, really cool patina, so this thing will look awesome with some patina sauce on it. I cannot wait to put this on, but I don't think that's gonna happen today. I just gotta wash it and see what it's gonna look like. All right, got the hood pulled off here, pressure washed it. Definitely made a difference. It's actually not as dirty as I thought. I mean, it had, you know, dirt on it, but it seems like a lot of these cars have been sitting for a long time, have a bunch of mold built up, and you pressure wash them and they're a completely different color. So basically the color, we'll just have to put some patina sauce on it, but it looks really good. Anyway, just kind of a quick under hood look that we pulled the hood off. Found the bolts for the hood hinges, so I can put those on. But I wanted to show you guys this interesting front suspension that this truck has. So somebody had swapped in, I believe it's a Chrysler front suspension, and it's pretty cool. I guess this was the swap to do before, you know, the Crown Vic suspension was a thing. This is like a, I guess it's a 70s or 80s Chrysler front suspension. And you can see somebody had boxed in the frame rail and then they welded this whole K-member to the front of the truck. They did a pretty good job. And then it also has power steering and stuff, so pretty cool. I think I would probably have tried to get a Crown Vic or anything, because I don't know how long ago it was done. But anyway, it looks like somebody had put a Crown Vic rear end in it. I believe that's what this is. Or it could be I think that's a Crown Vic 88. So, I don't know why they didn't go with the front, but anyway, that's fine. We're gonna not use it anyway. But that's kind of a good look at it. I wanted to give you guys a good look at this truck because it has to be one of the coolest vehicles that I've ever owned. So I hope you guys like it, and I hope you're excited for this project as I am. I am so stoked to be able to get to this thing, but we do have a bunch of projects going on, so you guys will see that on a future episode of Rusted Mod. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe so you can see all the updates on this thing. I do kind of want to put a motor and trans in it just to get it running for now, because I probably won't be able to get to it for a while. I can at least cruise it around and enjoy it while I have it. So, thank you guys for watching. See you guys on the next episode.